Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Tzu Chi volunteers and Tima medical staff are holding free clinics in both Vietnam and Indonesia for local residents. In China, we learn how Suzhou Tzu Chi volunteers are making a care recipient's dream come true by helping him return to his homeland in Taiwan. And we meet single mother Zhen Yifan to learn how her life has changed for the better after becoming a professional housekeeper. Tzu Chi volunteers and Tima medical staff regularly hold free clinics in remote areas around the globe to help those without access to healthcare resources. In Vietnam, a Tzu Chi free clinic was held at Nha Bay district, 30 kilometers away from the capital city of Ho Chi Minh, in which 316 residents received treatment. While in Indonesia, the Tzu Chi Foundation worked in partnership with the Sinar Mars Group and served 1,316 residents in East Kota Waringin Regency.
With no bridges here, local residents depend on boats to travel to their destinations. The river is where their drinking water comes from, and the sunshine is their only light of the day. To help those with limited access to healthcare resources, the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter, in partnership with the Sinar Mars Group, is holding free clinics for 6 villages in the East Kota Waringin Regency.
I feel very honored and happy because our residents get access to medical services provided by Tzu Chi.
Many are measured for their height, weight and blood sugar for the first time, while some residents seize the opportunity to ask for medical advice.
I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi and the Sinar Mars Group for holding this free clinic for us. I hope to recover soon and get back to work.
Tzu Chi volunteers and Tima medical staff travel on foot and visit each village to deliver their love and care to the local residents' doorsteps. In Vietnam, Tzu Chi volunteers gather at the capital of Ho Chi Minh City at 6 a.m. before traveling some 30 kilometers to the remote Nha Bay district. As no charity group has ever held a free clinic here, it is the first time for many to take part in a Tzu Chi's event.
I am really happy. Meeting you volunteers is like coming across family. I have 7 siblings and now it's 9 and 10.
No organizations has ever come out here to hold a free clinic, so I'm really happy and I cherish this opportunity.
With such an opportunity hard to come by, residents arrive in the hopes of recovering from their illnesses. This 85-year-old grandpa is here to treat his disfigured ear, while this deaf-mute man was in a vehicle accident and has no money to put his daughter through school.
My grandma and grandpa have both passed away. Seeing them is like seeing family. They are all very sweet, so I want to take care of them. I feel great to be able to serve others.
Having treated so many patients, I'm a little tired, but seeing the patients' smiles and feeling their trust makes me really happy.
In one day, Tzu Chi volunteers and Tima medical staff provide medical services to 316 patients, as well as 8 packs in hopes of bringing warmth and light to the needy.
In early March, the Philippines Tzu Chi chapter organized their quarterly relief distribution for care recipients. As Tzu Chi volunteers have built family-like relationship with local residents over the years, each time they return to Tzu Chi, they always bring bags of collected recyclables with them to express their gratitude to the organization.
Second vow.
Here at the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter, care recipients arrive for the quarterly aid distribution and also learn about Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirit.
Before the aid distribution, we must first pass on the Dharma to them and inspire the goodness in their hearts. We need to let them know that there are no religious barriers or politics here, and we are all equal.
As Tzu Chi volunteers inform recipients of the upcoming Buddha Day ceremony in May, they also pass on the message of filial piety through a short play.
When I was massaging, my heart was filled with love. This is the first time I willingly massaged my mother.
For when I asked her to give me a massage, it felt like she was hitting me. It was painful, but now I feel really comfortable. She's like a professional therapist.
Love and goodness is not something that can be spoken, but needs to be inspired from within. Having received help from the Buddhist NGO, care recipients always bring recyclables to show their appreciation.
We hope that they will really change from within and learn to do good deeds and be filial to parents. I think what Tzu Chi is doing in the Philippines is following Taiwan's footstep. It is the same in the rest of the world. We are reaching out to those in need.
Surrounded by Tzu Chi's love and care, local residents cherish the help given to them and in turn pay the love forward whenever they can.
This is Tzu Chi's 19th year in the Philippines. Master Zheng Yan's teachings tell us to continue to give to society, so we have been carrying out disaster relief work, vocational training, and free clinics to help the locals. Furthermore, seeing that we are really giving selflessly has moved many to join our ranks. That's our biggest strength of all.
In its 19 years of charity work in the Philippines, Tzu Chi Foundation not only reaches out to the needy, but also inspires the hope of a brighter future.
On April 2nd, the Chiang Mai Tzu Chi School welcomed Ying Wenxian, who served as a teacher at the school for 9 years, as its new principal. Principal Ying will be taking over from Chu Tara, who served as school principal since 2010, during which she helped guide the school through its second phase of construction and its first ever student enrollment year.
With Deputy CEO of the Tzu Chi Foundation, Wang Duanzhen, as witness, former teacher Ying Wenxian is officially named the new principal of the Tzu Chi Chiang Mai School.
I thank the Master for giving me this chance. I vow to fulfill my responsibilities to the best of my ability.
Ying Wenxian was among the first group of teachers to teach at the Chiang Mai School and served for 9 years. She was handpicked by former principal Chutara as her replacement to promote the sacred mission of the school.
I pray that the new principal will be able to fulfill her new duties smoothly. We will be by her side with encouragement and to ensure that everything is done to perfection.
We want to thank Principal Chutarat for her hard work over the past 3 years in running this school. Thanks so much.
Former Principal Chutara was elected school principal in 2010, a time when the school was still involved in its second phase of construction. The construction was finished in 2012, after which the school began accepting students. In her 3 years at the job, Chutara made the school her second home, and in picking a senior teacher at the school as her replacement, Chutara is confident that students will remain the school's top priority.
Although I have not been here for too long, I'm still moved and I vow to be a good student and repay the principal for her hard work.
As the baton is passed on, the educational foundation of Chiang Mai City School looks to be as strong as ever.
Tzu Chi volunteers in China's Guangdong and Guangxi provinces recently traveled to various schools to not only help students with academic scholarships, but to also teach them a healthy way to look at life and their problems. But first, we go to Guangxi to see how volunteers are helping needy students there, both financially and spiritually.
This is the third time since 2012 that Tzu Chi volunteers here in Guangxi have held a scholarship award ceremony at the Guangxi Medical College and the Mashan Middle School. As it is not only about the money, at the ceremony, volunteers arrange a video clip and onstage performances to get their message of good works and filial piety across. While in Guangdong, students at the Beijiang Middle School are also given a better understanding of Tzu Chi's missions and message.
Before, I thought that charity was only about helping others get out of poverty. But after getting to know the Tzu Chi volunteers, I've discovered that charity is not only helping others escape poverty, but also learning how to help others leave behind the difficulties in their life, as well as teaching them to be thankful and how to see life with more optimism.
Chen Taoqiang actually speaks from experience, as earlier this year his 40-year-old father suddenly passed away from a stroke. Although sad, Taoqiang has learned to stay positive and is deeply grateful for all his parents' hard work.
We both work outside of our hometown. After we save up enough money, we built this house. But not long after the house was finished, he passed away and had no opportunity to enjoy it.
Helping his mother and grandmother during this time, Chen Taoqiang is showing the world that with Tzu Chi, one never has to walk the road of life alone.
In our next report, we meet Suzhou Tzu Chi Care recipient Mr. Tian, who is also a former soldier from Taiwan. Since the senior has been bedridden for past 6 years, local Tzu Chi volunteers have worked to provide him with love and care. It has been the senior's lifetime wish to one day return to Taiwan. Thus, Suzhou Tzu Chi volunteers decided to fulfill this wish. Thanks to their efforts, Mr. Tian finally arrived back in Taiwan in 2012. Currently, the senior is living in a nursing home in New Taipei City with Tzu Chi volunteers still by his side. In front of his eyes is a newly issued Taiwan compatriot permit.
The Taiwan compatriot permit you have is expired, and this is a new one. Sister Xue Mei is a lawyer, and she helped you apply for the new one.
In fact, Mr. Tian's ID card expired a long time ago. Mr. Tian gives the volunteer a salute to express his gratitude. Today, Mr. Tian will be leaving China and moving back to his birthplace, Taiwan. Before his departure, medical staff at the Fuxing nursing home gives the senior their best wishes.
He has been dreaming of going back to his birthplace.
Upon hearing of Mr. Tian's wish, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to make his dream come true.
We have informed the Public Security Bureau about Mr. Tian's situation. Mr. Tian didn't have any documentation with him, but the officers were very kind and were touched by the Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care for the senior.
After saying goodbye, Mr. Tian is rushed to Shanghai Pudong International Airport. With medical equipment on standby and Tzu Chi volunteers by his side, Mr. Tian is ready to go home.
We will be taking China Airlines back to Taoyuan International Airport in Taiwan. From there, we will take an ambulance back home.
3 hours later, Mr. Tian has arrived in the airport.
You have been bedridden for over 6 years. Right now, it is September of 2012. You have been bedridden for 6 years. Don't you feel that time has gone by very fast?
Upon his arrival in Taiwan, Mr. Tian is settled in a nursing home in New Taipei City. Thanks to the love of Tzu Chi volunteers in 2 countries, Mr. Tian's lifetime wish has finally come true. Continuing from our last report, next we learn of Mr. Tian's affinity with Tzu Chi. After his business failed in Taiwan, Mr. Tian decided to move to China. However, a stroke 6 years ago left him bedridden. Upon learning of his plight, Suzhou Tzu Chi volunteers decided to pay for his medical bills as well as accommodation fees for his nursing home, and most importantly have provided him with endless love and care. Moving along the busy street, Suzhou Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting the Fuxing nursing home.
Mr. Tian likes to eat bananas because he has constipation. Every time we visit him, we will buy him lots of bananas.
Before arriving at the nursing home, Tzu Chi volunteers stop by a shop to purchase some daily necessities. For the past 6 years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for Mr. Tian. Therefore, they know exactly what he likes to eat.
Excuse me, do you sell adults' diapers?
The volunteers have thoughtfully prepared everything. Tzu volunteers not only purchase daily necessities, but also pay for the medical fees.
We are here to pay for Mr. Tian's fees for the nursing home.
Upon their arrival, volunteers remind Mr. Tian to take good care of his health.
You need to take good care of yourself. You look great today. His face is very clean today, and his blood pressure is normal too.
The volunteers' faces express concern about the senior's health.
This is your favorite food. I remember you like to eat this kind of bread.
Tzu volunteer Cai Chongji slowly feeds Mr. Tian his favorite bread.
I'm very grateful to the Tzu volunteers. The love and support they provide me is incomparable.
After a business failure in Taiwan, Mr. Tian moved to China, hoping for a fresh start. However, he was left bedridden after a stroke 6 years ago.
For the past 6 years, many Tzu volunteers have provided him with love and care. It has been a long time, but we never thought of giving up on him.
In fact, Mr. Tian is paralyzed on the left side, but Tzu volunteers' endless love has given him the courage to move on.
It has been 6 years. For the past 6 years, a lot of people have provided him with love and care.
In spite of his sickness, with Tzu volunteers' love and support, Mr. Tian's heart is filled with warmth and happiness. In Taiwan, single mothers and women who have to work for a living carry a huge financial burden on their shoulders. However, through foundations such as the Peng Wanru Foundation, these women are given opportunities to acquire new skills and build careers. Today, we meet professional housekeeper Zhen Yifan, who was left to raise 3 children upon her husband's passing 5 years ago. Here's more.
Wheeling a suitcase behind her, Zhen Yifan is not going on vacation. Instead, her suitcase is filled with all her cleaning tools. Hard at work, Zhen makes each surface and object she touches spotless. Now a professional housekeeper, it's hard to imagine that she once knew so little about household chores.
I didn't do many chores. I only knew how to throw clothes into the washing machine. I didn't know how to cook either, so my husband always tells us to buy takeout instead.
5 years ago, Zhen's husband passed away from a heart attack, a tragedy followed by her own mother's passing. Overnight, Zhen was left to shoulder the entire family's needs.
My eldest child suffers from hyperactivity disorder and autism. He is epileptic as well. My second and youngest child both suffers from ADHD. So I asked myself, is there a job that just entails 6 hours of work? For if I work during the evenings, who will look after my children?
The burden of caring for her family soon weighed down on Zhen, and she shut herself off from the world to escape the stress of life.
For 6 months, I shut myself off. The subsidies and aid can only help so much. One day the money will be gone. Without a stable job, how am I supposed to bow my head and expect somebody to help me?
Starting over from zero, Zhen found a job as a professional housekeeper. Although a demanding job, she finds contentment in knowing that she can now raise her children and has a goal to strive towards.
If they can keep their house so clean and tidy, then I have to do an even better job. To make their homes feel warm and inviting is my greatest accomplishment.
And her biggest source of motivation comes from her children.
I help wash the dishes and take out the garbage. Sometimes I will do the laundry too.
To travel across Taiwan with my children, that is my biggest wish.
There are many single mothers like Zheng Yifan who, although having met with setbacks in their lives, do not give up and instead look to develop themselves further.
Cleaning a house, doing laundry, ironing, and food preparation are all considered household chores.
Having to fold 6 items of clothing in an A4 size in just under 90 seconds, this is the high standard which is expected here.
折哪边你的手就是这样顺着这样过来，也这样顺着过来了。对啊，你只要转这一次就好了，你不要转来转去啊。然后它在同一个方向，对不对？那一样这边直接就这样子折过来了。他自己有这样的能力之后，他比较能够适应到这个。
We need to equip them with the skills fitted to this job, so if we don't have high expectations of them in class, then they can easily be replaced in the market.
Proving their capability through action, these skills have helped these women find confidence once again.
他们能够就是扛起，就是有这样子工作人，让他工作能够稳定。
They're able to make on jobs such as these. It is a stable job and brings them stable income. It also helps improve their family's financial situation.
Being able to support their families financially, women of the 21st century are no longer characterized by a gentle and frail stereotype, but by undefeatable courage and tenacity.
In Taiwan's Taichung, to better use recyclables, Tzu Chi volunteers at the Xiangshang recycling station have been making flowers from plastic bags and ropes as part of their celebration for Mother's Day in May. The volunteers plan to make and give away 1,000 of these flowers to motivate more people to join their ranks in practicing recycling.
Here at Taichung's Xiangshang recycling station, volunteers sit in circle as they learn how to make flowers out of plastic bags and ropes. This technique is actually easy to learn. Simply cut out a piece of a plastic bag and then use your finger to mold it into the shape of a flower petal. After much practice, everyone's final product really looks like real flowers. This year, volunteers have decided to use their skills to make 1,000 artificial flowers to be given away to members of the public on Mother's Day.
We have used recycled plastic ropes to make bookmarks and some ornaments. If there are children visiting the recycling station, we give them these handmade gifts.
Under the volunteers' creativity and skill, plastic ropes and bags are turned into delicate pieces of art. Through such events, volunteers have succeeded in not only making better use of recyclables, but also attracting more community members to join their ranks in practicing recycling.
We stay in Taiwan at the end of the show, where Taipei Tzu Chi volunteers recently visited the Xikou Elementary School in Wenshan District to educate students on Tzu Chi's etiquette, such as tea ceremony. In the event, students respectfully offered tea to their family members. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.